The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon from TFNN. Welcome to the June 2nd, terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge. I'm your Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that, it's to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us today. You and I, we're going to go look at the circumstance of the bulls and the bears, the buyers and the sellers. We'll go figure out what they're communicating to you and I at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here, but more importantly, I am here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone, dial on in. Now it's not too early, 877-927-6648. Of course, internationally, 727-445-1044. Let's go ahead and get this show kick-started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is the Hotel California, sponsored by Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes, and welcome to the show. Right now, we have the Dow traded up 6 points. She's trading at 17,796. This is the first day at about this time we haven't said 17,777. The S&P is flat. She's trading at 20.99. NASDAQ Composite trading out at 49.52. That is flat. Russell 2000 up a little over a point at 11.64. Gold's back a buck, trading at 12.13. Silver's up 8 cents at 16.05. Light sweet crude up 33 pennies, trading at 49.35. Leading the charge here to the upside, you've got Chipotle Mexican Grill up $11. Rooney's up 2.5%. Intercept Pharmaceuticals up 6%. $9.50. AutoZone, Zoom. That's up $7, a little less than 1%. Humana up about $6. That's 3%. Ophthotech, OPHTHOTECH. OPHT is the ticker symbol. I would think he'd come up with a better name than that. In any event, it's up 9%, nearly $5. To the downside, you've got American Woodmark Corp down 13%, nearly 17%. Signet Jewelers down 6.5%, 7%, off about $6 and change. Google's off about $6. Sarepta Therapeutics down 24%, off $5. Google, I think I already mentioned Google. BlackRock is down about $4.50. Okay, so what are these markets doing? Not making a lot of hay out there, that's for sure. Either way, but if we take a look at, let's go look at the weak link out here, see if we can find some clues. The weak link is going to be the Dow. But before we do that, before we jump into that, let's go take a look at the daily index futures accounts, because deja vu, I feel like we have been here before. Now, what do I mean by being here before? Well, if we look at the NASDAQ, let's just start with the NASDAQ. We'll make our way over to the Dow futures out here. But we know that price has gotten above this little weekly profile. By the way, let me move this box over here. It'll make it easier to see it. That's priced out at 45.08. Keeps being tested over the last 3 trading sessions. Continues to act as support. That's a positive. We do have a brand new market profile that formed today. Bullish tendency from the standpoint that it appeared above the prior profile, but that point of control is slightly closer to the top of the box resistance. That says, slight advantage, and I do mean slight advantage to the bears out here. The key numbers to be watching, both to the upside and to the downside, because we don't know whether the market's going to bust it up or bust them down. Everything is set up to bust them up. Bust them up says watch 45.37.50. You close above that. We're not talking by a couple of ticks, but you close above that. Then the message is time to move on to 46.35 out there. You bust it to the downside, meaning you close below 44.59.20. Something else is going on. Where's price going to head down back to? Yeah, I don't know, because that's the daily profile out there. We'd have to take a look at some other pattern. So important to watch the downside for sure, 44.59. Oh, no, I didn't delete that. I almost deleted it. I hate the mere fact that they put that little button, that little minimize button, right next to the X out there. In any event, let's take a look at the ES Mini. Now, the ES Mini did not make its way back all the way back to the top of its weekly profile. That, by the way, which is priced out at 2083 and a quarter out here. The number to be watching, we mentioned this yesterday. There was a new profile that formed yesterday. This profile, by the way, has a bullish bias on all sides of life. That says that the ES Mini is going to get up to 2103.75. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. And then the key is, does it take out that level? If it takes out that level, possibilities for A to B equals C to up patterns, all kinds of possibilities. But that is the level that we'd be watching. Hey, to the downside, you want to watch 2077.15. I don't think that is in play as we speak right now. So now we go over to the Dow. The Dow here, for the last two trading sessions, as with the last three trading sessions, we're priced right where it closed back on May 31st. I mean, we're talking about pretty much Johnny on the spot, whatever that means out there. Closed at 17,774. The futures, there's our 17,777. That's what we're trading at right now inside the futures. I knew it couldn't just escape us just like that. So we can see we've had intraday movement, but not much other than that. However, for those of you that are bulls out here, and for those of you that are bears, you can't ignore, you can't neglect the second Gartley buy pattern, I believe it is, that is formed here inside of the Dow. Is it the second? It's the first for sure. Let's take a look at it. What am I referring to? Well, when you take a look at a nice move that we've had inside the Dow, which is the weak link out here, I'm referring to the move off of the low from 10:30 in the morning. This is on the trading day of, don't do that to me. There we go. This is on the trading day. This was on June 1st. This is yesterday. So from yesterday morning at 10:30, made that nice little price relative strength divergent pattern. A whole 9 yards out here, and then a pretty nice move, right? So you went from a price point of 17,648 up to a high out here of 17,783. So you have, 140-point move. Now, what we've seen here is a nice little Gartley buy pattern. What do I mean, Gartley buy pattern? I mean that there's been an A to B equals CD to the downside. We can see that. I'm drawing it in, utilizing my tool here on the Ninja Trader platform. As we can see, it was a one-to-one, uno to uno, A to B equals C. What's that mean? That means that actually it was a 1-to-1.272. I digress out here. Not that I like to digress, but it made a 1-to-1.272. You can see A to B equals CD patterns. I'm referring to the distance between the A and the B leg. Once that retracement has formed, in this case here was a retracement to the upside. This was about a 70% retracement. We'll call it, 0.786 retracement out here. Once it was done with that retracement, it started motoring on along. Your first price target becomes your one-to-one. Only about 60% of the time, and I can't quantify that and tell you it's 60 versus 58 versus 62 out here, but approximately 60% of the time, it's only going to make a one-to-one move. In this case here, it went to the next level. What's the next level? 1-to-1.272. What's the level after that? 1-to-1.618. Then you've got 1-to-2. Typically, the 1-to-2 move, that's where you see some type of change in trend. Not always. Not always, and that's why you and I need to understand how to read the smoke signals of the cavalry out here, right? If you cannot read properly, I say, if you cannot read bullish or bearish candlesticks out here, then put that on the top of your list of something to go do, and do it accurately, folks, because there's nothing wrong with thinking you've got it, making a decision with bad info out there. We're not going to let that happen to you at TFNN. This is Steve Rhodes. We'll be right back. We'll go finish up this Gartley buy pattern in the Dow 30-minute futures contract. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Before we went to that break, we were taking a look at the Dow 30-minute chart out here. We were identifying the Gartley buy pattern that had formed. Now, that requires an A to B equals CD. It requires a prior trend. In this case here, we're saying that from yesterday's low at 10:30 up into the high out here into the close yesterday, that marked our trend. You then need an A to B equals CD, in this case here to the downside. That actually took place and confirmed out here at 10:30 this morning. The A to B equals CD made a 1.272 expansion. The cavalry rushed in. Nice little piercing candle out here. You had some follow through on the very next session. Price is now trading above its 30-minute market profile out here. All those things are bullish. It's up above Stevie's red line out here, which is priced at 17,755. Now, a Gartley pattern has 5 different possible outcomes every time that they form out here, and we don't know which of the 5 it is that it's going to attain. But if we go take a look at it, those outcomes right here, well, I'll show you 3 of them because it's already made. Actually, it's already made the 4th outcome. And the question is, are we going to go on and make outcome number 5? Give me a moment, work with me. Okay, so if we go to default, there we go. So if we go from the high of the A to B equals CD, if we go from the high down to the low, your first outcome is your 0.382 retracement. In this case here would have been 17,730 inside the Dow futures. 17,753 was the outcome number 2, your 0.618 retracement. 17,770 is outcome number 3. That's your 0.786. Outcome number 4 is your 100% move of a move. In essence, we have had that. 17,792 is the number. We've only seen a high out here of 17,788, but that works. We're inside the swing point. And then outcome number 5 is that we've set up some type of A to B equals CD to the upside, right? And if we take a look at that, let's go draw in an A to B equals CD pattern out here. We're going to start now with the, give me a moment right here. We're going to start with the low at 10:30 yesterday. That's going to be your A point. Your B point is out here at yesterday's high. Actually took place during the 3:30 to 4 p.m. session. And then our C point is this morning's low out here that came in at 10:30. Your 1-to-1 takes you up to 17,836 out here. Why do I only have the 1-to-1? At some point in time, I must have turned off the other features on here. So now all I've got to do is go back over to another level here. We'll go 1.272. Let's go ahead and turn that on out here. And I would imagine that what we will see is we'll see the Dow make its way up and made a 1 to 1.272, A to B equals CD to the downside in order to form this pattern. No reason that it won't make the same pattern to the upside. And in doing so, which that price target, by the way, 17,875, that's going to take us right into the top of the weekly box. And that's what we want to be keeping our eye on, 17,871. That's what will occur if price is able to get above the swing point high from yesterday at 3:30, which is priced at 17,792. So watch the 17,792. You start to see price move above that, then you heard it here from Stevie San, that price inside the Dow futures headed to 17,875. Hey, there's something else that I want you to know that you heard it from Stevie San, and that is this evening. You know, June 2nd is a wonderful day. It is a great day in the world. But of course, June 2nd, 2016, that's an even better day. Why? Because this evening, our man Basil Chapman is hosting a workshop, the consequences of a new market high. I can tell you I'm going to tune in. If I'm going to tune in, that means you should be tuning in out here, because what better source for education than there is here at TFNN? And I'm talking a great source of education. The amount of work that Basil puts into it, and taking a look at some of the other aspects out there with regard to skyscrapers and so much more, you know, that he puts into it. Look, just simply you ought to attend just from the technical aspects of understanding the Chapman wave. Look, I would never, ever ask you to do something that I don't do. You see me use aspects of the Chapman wave. How often? That's right, all the time. So much so I went out there and built my own tool so that it makes it so easy for me to be able to understand what wave are we in. Hey, I owe it to Basil to have introduced me to the 7th wave, my favorite wave out there, because it's the easiest place to go ahead and put on a trade out here. We didn't see that 7th wave form here this morning on the 10-minute chart, the 30-minute chart, but we did get to wave number 4, and he'll tell you once you get to wave number 4, you gotta keep your eyes open out there. So come on over to the homepage at TFNN.com. It is summertime. It doesn't matter to me whether you can attend tonight or not. In fact, even if you can't, you ought to sign up for it. You're going to get 30-day subscription to his newsletter service. That alone is worth its weight in gold out here. And you're going to have a workshop that's on your members page for the next 30 days out there. So you'll be able to go back and learn. I don't know about you, but as I have taken on all these different tools, I have to go back and look at it and see if there's some little nuance that maybe I missed out there. So if you're looking to improve yourself in any way out here, then you want to take advantage of June 2nd, 2016. Come on over to the homepage of TFNN.com and go ahead and sign up for Basil's workshop. And I know that you will have a great time out there. Okay, so what else do we want to look at? So the markets are poised to move higher. That's just the way that it is right now. We've got other indications out here. If we take a look at the advanced decline oscillators for 3 of the indices that you and I follow, because the tool only works on that, and then I can give you up to the minute. I mean, we're talking up to the second, up to the tick activity out here. We can see they're all above 0. That's the bottom panel on my screen out here, and that includes the New York Stock Exchange. That's the left-hand panel. Next to it is a NASDAQ Composite, which has been making higher highs in its AD line out there, and markets don't end that way. It ends with a divergence, and no such divergence is out there at the moment. And then we've got the Dow. That oscillator is above 0. So it is the, even though they're not doing much, it is the buyers, it is the bulls that are in control of the market. The VIX index, the equity, the options traders out here, they can't seem to get that price above the 50-day exponential moving average, priced right now at 1517. And if they can't do that, they've lost the battle. At least the bears have lost the battle. That says that the buyers are the ones that are in control of the market. There's some hurdles out here that the market, the NQ, and the ES need to overcome that we'll continue to pay attention to. Those are the horizontal trading range. Of course, this is just the 120-minute time frame that we are looking at out here. So 2097 is a key level inside of the ES Mini, and 4520, it's really 4519, is a key level for the NQ to get up and away. But if the Dow is able to take out its swing point high and forms that A to B equals CD, these ES guessing the NQ will have no problem doing the same inside of their equity contracts out here. What else do we want to look at? I don't really know. We might just want to go ahead and go to the beach for the next half hour. We don't want to put on, do not wear suntan oil. Why would you bake that into your skin? Instead, just go out in the sun, get that nice vitamin D, do it for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then get out of the sun. But don't, I don't know, would you put Crisco on yourself out there and go in the sun and bake it into? I know I'll hear from some dermatologists and so forth out there, but I guarantee you, skin cancer comes from not the sun. It comes from the stuff you put on your skin and you bake into it out there. I didn't even know how I got off on that topic out here. I said, well, let's go take off the next half hour and go out to the beach. And that does sound like a pretty good plan in a market that is basically doing nothing out there. Of course, many people are wondering, hey, what's Steve's take on gold out here? It is trading lower. It has traded off $100 since that high out there. And everybody was saying it's going to move higher. And Steve was saying, nah, it's not moving higher. It's going to move lower. It's going to move sideways to move higher over the course of the next couple of days. It's just pausing. It is pausing, and we might see a nice bounce. I'd like to see a $20 bounce before it takes its next leg down, its next significant leg down. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Flat market out here. Dow is flat, 17,789. S&P is flat, 2098. Composite basically flat at 49.48. Russell is flat at 1163. Got an email that came in from our man John in Sarasota. He's asking how high might JJG travel. Now, JJG is the IPATH Bloomberg Grain Sub-Index. And during the break, John, I did try to find out which futures contracts, which grains are actually inside this. And I couldn't figure that out. But go ahead and send me another email if you can, and then I could provide you with a better take on where things are headed to. But without that information, let's just do the best that we can. But that's really what we need, right? We need to know which contracts are in here, when they're going to roll, what the percentage weighting is in order to really give us a feel for where this might head. This just happens to be an ETF, for the underlying instruments. In this case here, I would assume, and without having that, and that's really where you got to make your decisions from. Nonetheless, what is it that we can do here? What can we make as a determination from this chart? Well, the first thing that we can do is we can see that this has got a nice A to B equals CD pattern that has formed out here, with the A point down here at the lows that came in inside this ETF down on March the 2nd. That's your A point. Your B point, as this made a high on April 21st, makes a retracement down into a low on May the 9th. Now, the 1-to-1, right, 60% of the time you'll see a 1-to-1. That gives you a price projection of 36.36. So lack of any other information out here. It says my first target, if I were inside JJG, would be looking at 36.36. Does that mean I would sell it there? The answer is no. Why would we do that? Only 60% of the time is it going to make it to that level. If I were a betting man, which I am, I would say this is more likely going to make a move to 37.63 or 39.25. But I would feel so much better by taking a look at the actual contracts that are inside of the JJG before I gave you that information. But this looks like more than a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern here. And with regard to the volumes down here, a relatively illiquid ETF. So I think we just have to not pay attention to them. What do I mean illiquid? Well, if you were trying to trade this on December 15th, there were only 6,500 shares that were traded that day. That means if you're trying to exit this, good luck, good luck out there. So there are some days that have had some nice volume out here, such as April 15th, 634,000. But what made it go from 634,000 shares to 13,000 shares just a few weeks before that? And so be careful when you're trading these ETFs, these ETNs. In this case here, it's an ETN, even worse, an exchange-traded note, which means it doesn't even have to fully invest into the commodity out there. And who knows what expenses it is that they're just, sucking out of your investment inside of this out here. But you got to read the actual disclosure notes in order to understand what the ETN exchange-traded note is actually doing out there. So 36, 36, 37.63, and 39.25 are the numbers that I would be watching for JJG. That was for John in Sarasota. Okay, so we take a look at that gold just a bit. 12.13 to 12.30 is where it's likely to trade to. There's a certain point in time where I'll know it'll hit a key level that I'm watching for. That should it deflect at that point in time, it's sayonara, see you later, adios, headed south for the winter time. And that would be gold. And of course, but it is that next low that you and I want to buy. And I don't know exactly when that's going to be, but it's going to be. They're talking about Gartley's out there. That's the one that you and I want to be all over. And we're hoping, maybe if you're holding equities, you're not hoping, but what we're hoping for is at that stage is that the tune inside of the commentators, not the Stevie commentators, but the commentators and everybody else are saying, that's it. We're done. Gold's over, because look at that A to B move out here. We're talking about going from a price level of 1049, so-called from 1049 to 1300. That 250-point move out there, that is a nice one. We want to participate in that next 250-point move. The problem is it just ain't yet. Yeah, it's just basically horrible grammar out there, but you know what I was trying to say. And exactly where that price point is going to come from, I don't know just yet. I'll know it when I see it. I believe I'll know it when I see it, but it's in that 1130-ish range. Could even be another $100 to the downside. Gold tends to overcorrect in both directions out here. So we'll play it one day at a time. In the case of high-ho silver, same kind of a deal out here. We know that silver's already broken through its breakout area. That took place on April 19th. So that's a pretty good sign, right? Silver leading the charge. Silver's headed down to 1538, maybe 1465 out there. Nonetheless, we want to be all over the next silver bottom, but it's likely going to be gold that will go ahead and give us that signal, not silver that will go ahead and give us a signal. But as we take a look at light sweet crude out here, big meetings in Vienna, big powwow, everybody getting together, smoking a couple of Cubanos out there, puffing away. And as light sweet crude puffs away, it's trading right now above its daily profile, which is at 48.97. We're just slightly above 49.17. Nice rising price channel, the house of the rising sun. And I got to admit, that's a great tune out there, right? And the rising sun inside light sweet crude says, at this stage here, looks like it's in its next rising price channel out here, which says that this nice black gold Texas tea Jed Clampett sauce ought to make its way up into the 55-ish type range out there. It's certainly not headed south. And if you are one that thinks that the market is going to head south, are you looking at the light sweet crude contract is just simply the question that I would pose to you. Of course, you might say why, and I would say why. Why, of course, the reason is because these two do a Texas two-step like no other that is out here. And it's not always, but right now we're in that 65-70% correlation zone out here, and so you got to pay attention to it. So in the case of the ES Mini, you're watching for 2103.75. There's nothing that we really have to watch for in the case of light sweet crude, other than we want to watch for any kind of failure pattern of sorts that are out here. But you don't get that until you see light sweet crude close under 46.01. Then at that stage of the game, where light sweet crude pulls back to, right? It pulls back to the house of the rising price channel. And that happens to be the bottom of that price channel. But I don't foresee that. It's just not in the cards. At least it's just not in the cards just yet out here. So this looks good. This looks like it's setting up to move higher. Again, the VIX index below the 50-day. Yada, 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 yada. You're probably tired of hearing it out here. Yesterday, we did a nice analysis. You did an excellent analysis of taking a look at the annual seasonal pattern, the 4-year presidential pattern. You looked at the second term of a fourth-year president, and we know the market does what in the month of June, no matter how bad people think the month of June is. In fact, you'd think they were saying sell in June. What were they smoking? It was not a good Cubano out there. It doesn't head lower until maybe, and I do say maybe, around the middle of June. As far as I know, today is only June 2nd, and you know what happens on June 2nd, 2016? A great workshop put together by our man Basil Chapman. So come on over to the homepage of TFNN.com and sign up for it now. The Dow's off a point, trading at 17,787. We'll be right back.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 6. S&P is down a point. Composite off 2 points. It feels like that good Nat King Cole song, doesn't it? Nat King Cole, you remember that song? Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. I think that's kind of where we're at inside the markets on this terrific Thursday. Maybe that means that buyers, and it is buyers, are just waiting for the jobs report that happens the first Friday of every month out there. So maybe that's when things start cranking to the upside out here. If I were to try to find, any other signals, any other lazy, crazy, hazy day signals out here, QQEW, that is the equal-weighted ETF for the Qs out here. It's up above its prior highs. Prior highs I'm referring to are April the 5th, April the 13th, April the 18th out here. And so it's above that. And that says it's not the weighted stocks that are doing all of the moves to the upside. And so inside the Qs, it says the market breadth is pretty strong. No different than the message inside the New York Stock Exchange, where the market breadth is so strong it's at all-time highs. Volume, it ain't there. It's going to take a while oscillator to catch up, but the divergence between the two, it's just a little perplexing, but it's caution, but it's throw caution to the wind out there. It's not like sell Mortimer sell or anything out here. So you got the Qs that are signaling that the equal weighted is saying, hey, ready to roll to the upside, pack your bags and let's roll. Inside the S&P 500, we don't have that message just yet. We do have a little bit of, it's close. And the high out here inside of the equal-weighted ETF for the S&P 500, that is RSP. That is the Guggenheim, and you know how I like to say the word Guggenheim out here. So that is the Guggenheim S&P equal weight. It's high coming in April the 27th, and it's really, these are closing prices, by the way, that we're looking at. Whenever you look at a line chart on Stevie's screen, and pretty much on anybody's screen, you're looking at the closing. Of course, I could set this to be something else, but we are looking at the closing price. 209.35 is that the number? No, it can't be. 80.96 is the number. Right now, it's at 80.84 out here. So if it can get above 80.96, the equal weight, it's going to give us the same kind of message. Well, actually, it's just going to catch up. It'll just confirm the message in the SPY. So right now, inside the S&P 500, we can see that it's the weighted stocks that are doing not all the work, but they've done enough work to be able to get past the prior highs out here. It was an equal weighted, not so much. It's not enough of a divergence here. You would see it across the board. It's not enough of a divergence here to really be worried about. Of course, we know we've got the GE Dow, dance, and we don't have a diverging pattern here. We did, as it was making its highs, that means the Dow back here on April 20th. But that has now been resolved to the downside, and there's no diverging pattern inside of GE as we speak right now. So, in looking for some clues, hidden clues, signals, that are problematic, there are some problems, but not enough that would, and all these little screens out here, most of these are patterns where you look for divergences between two issues, and that to let you know that something is not right in River City. And as we speak right now, things look to be pretty good in River City on those lazy, crazy, hazy days of summer. How's the rest of that go? Isn't it something like, you bring out your pizza and pretzels and beer? Probably root beer or something like that. But I'd have to go back and then I don't remember all, just like you probably, you don't remember all of the lyrics out there. Hot dogs. I don't think hot dogs was a part of Nat King Cole's tune out there, but Steve-O says hot dogs. And I'll go with Steve-O, but I don't remember it being hot dogs, but let's just say that it was. Let's take a look at some individual equities out here, since for goodness sakes, there's not much else for us to do. I've given you a whole kit and caboodle, but let's go take a look at the kit and caboodle of Chipotle Mexican Grill. CMG is the ticker symbol, up 2.5%, up $10. That's leading the charge dollar-wise to the upside. What is Chipotle doing? You'd have to say not a whole heck of a lot of anything, really, just moving sideways. Don't know why. I had that red line out there. That red line is gone. Looks to really be trading inside a range of between 428 to about 462. Could get up to as high as 474. So just a sideways consolidation. I don't know if it's a sideways consolidation to take another leg to the downside out here. If I put a weekly chart on my screen, it says, you get below 399 and then look for 184 to show up on the screen eventually for Chipotle. So that's what you would be watching there. You've got AutoZone out there, and this is the weekly chart. This thing here just consolidating up at the highs. We know that AutoZone had a nice little break on the trading week of February 15th. 1.7 million shares. That level, that gap is held as support. Right now, price just really range bound between 750 to 779 out there. Maybe 784 is the level, but there's nothing that looks bad about the stock chart for AutoZone, at least not that showed up on the weekly chart. Humana, HUM, being the ticker symbol, having a nice week here. This thing has, this thing had broken out big time out here. The week began April 25th. It has pulled back, in essence, to that breakout area, which was really the prior swing point that began the week of May 4th. So far, that has held. Everything looks pretty good in Humana as we speak right now. Now, what Humana is trying to do is get above the resistance of the high from April the 4th, or the week that began April the 4th is what I should say, that being 187.80. You get above that, this thing might as well go back and revisit its highs in the 219-ish zone. HUM is the ticker symbol for Humana, the hummingbird. Let's take a look at American Woodmark Corp. American Woodmark Corp. Why is that so familiar to me? Who American Woodmark? Are those the American Woodmark? Something Woodmark is responsible for a lot of the speaking stuff out there, isn't it? Mind, I'm losing my marbles out here inside my mind. I don't know why that stands out there. I know it's for a good reason. I just can't put it together. Nonetheless, if you were a holder of American Woodmark today, that's not the question you'd be asking yourself. You'd be saying, why is this thing moving down with volume behind it? 675,000 shares right now to the downside. So that's called volume off of its most recent high. So the question would be, well, where is American Woodmark headed back to? Well, here's the deal. If it gets below 59.63, so far the low today has been 65.21. And then you're looking at this thing moving down to 59 Did I say 59? 64.82 is the number. 64.82 is the number. If it gets below 64.82, then you're looking at 59.63, and then it's got to be careful, because should this thing take out, this is a daily chart we're looking at, should it take out 57.04, you're looking at an A to B equals CD to the downside inside an American Woodmark. That would take you to a minimum price objective, and I do mean minimum because this has come off of the C point with a vengeance, of about $49, I have to say $40.55 for AMWD. Signet Jewelers, that all seems to always be on my screen from day to day. This is a daily chart. 9.2 million shares to the downside. I guess nobody's buying any jewelry out there. And this thing taking out a B point of a large, and I do mean large, gargantuan A to B equals CD to the downside by getting below the session from February 11th. That only had 1.4 million shares. You've done 9.2 million shares today. Not looking good for holders of Signet Jewelers. Headed to 69.49. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, Swim Lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the 3 hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Relatively flat market out here. Of course, earlier I mentioned, hey, let's go out to the beach out there, and one thing led to another. That then somehow brought up the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer out there. And then the question was whether or not, that he was talking about pretzels and pizza and beer and soda and hot dogs Well, he wasn't actually talking about hot dogs per se, not using the word, but he was also talking about in that song going out to the beach, right? And he needed to come up with a word that says, hey, we can pack up all this stuff and go to the beach and watch the girls in bikinis. And so therefore he used the word weenies out there. So that brings us up to speed on our lyrics, so to speak, out here. I don't even know if it was really Nat King Cole that is the one that is the author of that tune out there. Somebody probably knows in listening land out there. I thought it was Nat, but might not be Nat. It could be somebody else. So what are we going to look at? There's not much else to look at out here in the markets. I mean, we have this all set. We know that the 30-minute chart for the Dow, which has been our weak link, is the one that probably tells all. So watch during David's show. I don't know if it'll be during David's show on Thursday, between 2 and 3, or maybe it's Tom between 3 and 5, or maybe it's Andy between 5 and 6, but not likely to be Andy's show unless it's between 5 and 5:15 out here. But watch that price level of 17,792. If we see that, if you see the Dow futures moving above that, that says Dow futures are going to make a move up to the 17,875-ish zone out there. I'm not saying that's where it's going to stop. I'm just saying that's where the move would be. Everything will rise. We know that the small caps way outperforming the large caps out here. And that, folks, that is not a bear market. That is not even a market that's ready to head south out here. Instead, that's a market that's ready to go out to the beach, take an umbrella versus sunscreen out there. And because quite frankly, the IWM, and I know you don't want to hear this, but it's got $129.40 written all over it. It's got even more than that. It took out a B point with volume yesterday. We're talking about the April 27 swing point that had 24 million shares, and it was taken out with almost 27 million shares out there. The Russell 2000 has awoken. It's broken trend lines. It's done everything that it needs to do to say it's going higher. Now, look, it's going to its next swing point level out here at 120. But I've got a pretty good word that it's headed much further than that. And that much further could take us up to 129. So not until the small caps decide to drink too much beer and throw up all over the place and whatever it's going to do, basically start leading us and pounding its and burying its head in the sand out there, the market isn't going lower. The same can be said about the NASDAQ. The NQ is struggling just a bit out here. The NDX 100 just a bit, but that's because of Apple. Apple's in a buy mode out here. Apple's just making a retracement. It's made its retracement, probably the retracement, the seat point of an A to B equals CD by getting down to the TAS daily profile low of 96.43 out here. Volume behind the move today, 28 million shares. Made a high with 56 million just a few days ago. So, the pullback here, no big deal. Apple wants to move higher. If it can get above 100.73, you can expect that the A to B equals CD will be unfolding in that as well. So, folks, it is a terrific Tuesday. That means come on over to the homepage at TFNN.com. Sign up for Basil's workshop. You really should join us for a great time out there. Stay tuned, though. Our polar bear, David White, he's going to be up next. He'll cool you off. And then we've got the Tom O'Brien Show from 3 to 5. Basil is at 6, I believe, and then we got Andy Hack to take us from 5 to 6. So lots of great programming. Have a terrific Thursday. We'll see you on a fun day Friday. Take care, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.